What a way to go. Okay, let me hop into the on my phone here and I'll see if... What a way to go. Yeah, what the heck? I can hear myself reacting and it's very sad. Okay, it could be a Discord thing, so let me go through my voice and video there. Aha! I have found the solution.
Yes. So do we know what happened to this house? Did someone just, like...
Meth house.
I think they just sprayed all... Hang on. Hang on.
One of the rejects.
Haha, there you are. Okay.
Hey.
So, alright, another note to throw on the pile of notes for technical nonsense that Grizz has endured over 10 years of streaming on Twitch is that for Discord audio chats, I have to make sure that my output for our discussion between you and I, Aaron, is set to the same output channel that I have for my game audio.
Well, that just seems silly.
Just easy peasy.
Yeah, totally intuitive and not at all weird.
Very normal.
Very evil.
And definitely Danhausen level of mischievous. Okay, so... Yeah, that poor guy is out with a torn pectoral muscle, so he's not going to be wrestling until next year.
That sucks.
Okay,
I
Leaf.
don't even, like... How do you tear a pectoral? That sounds horrible.
Horribly. I've seen it happen. I've seen pectoral muscle tears happen in like videos of people lifting weights at the gym, through bench presses.
Why would you seek that out?
Got it. Well, to answer the question that you just asked.
It's a rhetorical question of like, how would that happen? Horrible. I don't actually want to see it.
Too much stress on that particular tendon.
He exploded into confetti. How is it he's still on the ship?
Exploded into confetti.
I think he was fighting a boss.
Oh.
Yeah, it is a very...
So, Atranet, if you're still here with us, hello, and
Give us a sign.
also hello. Yeah, if you can hear Aaron, I'm pretty sure because I heard you on stream on my phone, so we should be good at this point.
I'm on the roof, so I don't know where you're at.
I am on the ground, slowly power washing the back of the garage.
Ah.
There's a bonus background guy.
A bonus background guy.
Oh, she can hear your hubster.
Oh, yeah. Bonus background guy is my husband, who will now be only known as bonus background guy.
Yes.
That's you now.
To preserve your privacy, you'll be known as background guy. Mr. BG.
Witness 1.
Okay, so let's start over. Good evening, everybody. I'm Grizz. I got Aaron here.
Hi.
And we're getting back to Powerwash Simulator, which is a thing that Henry and I used to do a very long time ago. And then he finally got away from his second job, so he can spend time with his family doing family stuff. And we left this house to be cleaned a year ago, and Aaron and I are taking it on today, presuming that the homeowners are either very forgiving or dead and don't care.
I'm gonna guess... I'm actually gonna go with not dead, but taken away by demons, judging by all of the sigils on this house. That's my guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see it. Yeah, there we go. I see one. on the back of the house here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not like a
there's-
normal thing to have.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, you even carved out a little spot to be like, here is the symbol.
Here are the demons.
Are you deep?
Why did the mines disappear? Well, let's throw some graffiti on the house and find out.
I don't wanna.
Uh,
I've watched Paranormal Activity. I know how that goes. No, thank you.
Atronet's like, well, that certainly brought the property value in that neighborhood down.
That's our plan. Bring the property value down, let all the millennials buy homes,
Yes.
and then we come in and clean it. It's a genius business model.
Rent to own? No, we wash to own.
Rent to own, curse to own. It's fine. It's fine. Don't
Exactly.
worry about it.
All right, so reiterating our conversation from earlier, how are you?
Doing well. This window is blinding me with the cleansing of 1,000 suns because I keep reflecting water off of it and into my eyeballs. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a whirlwind several weeks of doing all sorts of stuff, and from hanging out with you and background guy playing Clone Hero to Midwest Gaming Classic to getting infected with COVID again.
COVID 2, COVID harder.
Yes. I also alternate titles that are also accepted include COVID 2, Son of COVID, and also
COVID drift.
COVID Drift. If your COVID ain't out of control, your COVID ain't in control.
The only thing that matters is COVID and family.
Just imagining the COVID-19 virus being voiced by Vin Diesel.
I am COVID.
So all of that, and then a weekend spent in Chicago with friends playing my modified Rock Band 3 setup, and then finally spending half of a week out in the woods hunting turkeys and shooting the biggest turkey in my life.
Yeah,
So-
you finally got him.
Yes, so got a lot to talk about.
Your white whale,
Yeah.
your white turkey. He's
Oh,
not
yes.
very white.
I am the Ahab, and he was the white whale. Except I didn't go mad. I was very happy.
I mean, you still might have. We're not ruling that out.
Well, actually, when I tell you the story, there was a temporary bit of madness, but you'll understand. So
I feel like, you said he skunked you for like what? How many seasons?
for 4 years.
Oh god. We've gone back to the radio era.
Yes. the pre-pandemic days, quite literally, the last time I got a turkey.
Wow.
Yes.
So do you like freeze him and then do you consume the bird? Do you just stuff the bird and be like, I got this?
I
I ask these questions as someone who doesn't really hunt.
Oh, sure. Well, all the meat is currently soaking in my refrigerator. Got to get the blood out of it.
Thank you. I had some follow-up questions.
Yes, that is an unfortunate part of the process. Is all of that
The blood, yes.
Yeah. But tell you what, let's kind of start from when you and I were hanging out, and I think BG Guy was also there too.
Clone Hero?
Yeah, with Clone Hero. Yes, because holy shit, what an evening!
Yeah,
like
glad
I'm
you had
still
a good
thinking
time.
about it.
Yeah. I had a great time. There was a second one, I think, the next weekend, but I was not there because I was away doing things.
Ah.
And you were infected with COVID, otherwise you would have gotten an invite.
Oh,
But I
no.
was like,
Oh, that next
no.
weekend would have been Midwest Gaming Classic.
No, then it would have been the
So,
weekend after that.
Yes. Because I think that the weekend of Midwest Gaming Classic, you were chilling at home. I think BG Guy went to C2E2?
He did. Some friends had gotten tickets, and they all went down to C2E2. I stayed home and was the most white woman about everything. It's like, I'm going to go to a farmer's market, and I'm going to get coffee, and I'm going to go for a run, and yeah, all of the lovely, you know,
Please do.
Heck
just
yeah.
white people things that I do. But yeah, they had a great time at C2E2.
So,
Did all of the things.
wonderful.
Up to and including Chicago traffic. How was C2E2 for you? Or not C2E2, or Midwest Gaming.
I mean, you know, to answer your question, C2E2 for me left me in a state of longing. As I was not, since I wasn't present, but heard about all the cool shit that was going on, I was like, man, terrible odds of having the Midwest Gaming Classic, which my friend Holly has been, and my friend Seth, and my friend Marcus have all been looking forward to with extreme interest, only to hear about this other convention happening just a couple hours down the road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the timing is certainly, it leaves one wanting more, you know, from an already epic weekend to become even more so.
I know. It feels like they could have coordinated that better. Can I make this jump? The answer is yes. You will have a heart attack, but you can make the jump.
So yeah.
I won Mario Kart.
Nice.
So Midwest Gaming Classic was outstanding in every possible way. Had a wonderful time. Finally getting to hang out with Henry and Holly and all of the kiddos.
Yeah.
And my friend Seth, who lives in Milwaukee, who came out to hang with us all weekend. And my friend Marcus, who brought his nephew Quinn to hang out with us on Saturday.
That's awesome.
So lots of video games were played, including what is probably my favorite thing at the moment, an arcade-sized version of the Taiko Drum Machine rhythm game.
Oh my god.
Which there were several of those at the convention, like the Nintendo Switch version of the game. So you can get like drum controllers, and I did confirm that no, you can't make the Donkey Konga bongo controllers work with it, which
uninstalling.
Yeah, because I have 4 of those in my house, and I'm like, come on.
That's a lot of bongos.
When Donkey Konga came out, all my friends and I, we bought extra bongos, and then I inherited all of them. So, when I have get-togethers,
sometimes you inherit bongos.
That's right. So when I inherit, when I have get-togethers, that is a game that can be played uniquely at my place.
Huzzah!
So, but yeah, so there's this Taiko Drum Master game, and the arcade version of it is just basically 2 gigantic drums, and you just beat the crap out of them with your Taiko drumsticks.
Huh.
And so just it's a lot of fun, but of course the soundtrack for a game like that is just mostly Japanese pop songs. So you got to brush up on your anime intros to to know
like what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, be like with an occasional Undertale song thrown in there. So
gotcha.
So it's like, oh, does this have let's see, does this have One Piece? No. Does it have Dragon Ball? No. Does it have Naruto? It has Neon Genesis Evangelion? All right.
Okay.
Yeah, just
so we're doing this.
Yeah, we're diving deep into the weeb history to smack some drums around. So, but anyway, had a wonderful time with everybody. One of the things that really stuck with me was that on Sunday I got to hang out all day with my favorite and only godchild in the world.
Yay!
So we hung out in the vendor hall all day, and now let me bring up something. So my role as a godparent, my personal edict. Oh, Atronet says voting for bongo play upon next visit. Absolutely, get your ass down here and we will play Donkey Konga. So here's the thing. Being a godparent, my role is to mercilessly spoil my god kids.
Correct.
That's the role. That's how it works. The Catholic ties to it are long dead and buried. We don't care about it.
Yep.
The role is, and this is the only creed. You know, I'll throw a bone to Harry Potter just this once, because if something were to happen to Henry and Holly, God forbid, then I would be the Sirius Black and, you know, take my godchild under my wing. So.
Hell yeah.
And of course, their siblings as well. However, in the meantime, I will mercilessly throw caution and my credit card to the literal wind, and make sure that my godchild gets to enjoy all the cool shit that would not be enjoyed otherwise. So,
Well, yeah, that's the job.
that's right. Yes, you understand. So, with that in mind, I want to give extra context in that my godchild only brought $25 for the whole weekend.
You fool. You absolute fool.
Yes. And on the day that we got there on Friday, we went to a nearby market and got boba tea. And they became obsessed with the boba tea. In fact, like the very next morning, before we even went to the convention hall, they were all like, "Can we go back to the food court and get some boba tea before we go to the convention?" And I was like, "Absolutely!" And we get there at 9 a.m. when the building's open, and only the coffee place in this joint is open, so no boba tea.
No.
But what was present was a coffee place that was serving a flamin' hot Cheetos donut.
That is a very cursed sentence.
Yes, it was also April 1st, so you have to be aware that this was something that they were doing maliciously on purpose.
Oh, God.
Now, my godchild did not partake in the donut, but Henry and Seth and I absolutely did. And honestly, you know, between the Flamin' Hot Cheetos, the nacho cheese frosting, which wasn't frosting, it was just nacho cheese, and it was more like a drizzle, and then the jalapeno cream cheese that was on it, that would...
How did you not die?
Well, it would really kick ass as a bagel, honestly. A donut's too soft for that. You need something with crunch.
You do, structurally. The donut's just too delicate to hold up to the nacho cheese.
Correct.
It's not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want soft with heat like that. I promise, it's terrible. So...
I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a scenario. Chocolate and chili, actually. If they did a really, like a devil's food donut with a chili-infused chocolate glaze, that actually could come off really good.
Yeah, you're right. That actually could.
I spend a lot of time when I'm not watching true crime. I watch a lot of Food Network.
Hey, that's time well spent. A lot of great stuff.
Because I'm using the swirly boy because it gets the really caked on gank off. My power washing nozzle choices are being questioned.
Oh, well, I get it.
That's...
I've been sticking with the same. I've been stuck with the same nozzle for like, I don't know, 15. No, the whole time we've been playing. So.
Are you still having that issue? I feel like that's bad.
No.
Oh.
I'm fine. No, I figured out how to switch it over. I just want to use this one because it gives me an acceptable amount of range.
Which one is it, and why is it yellow?
Which one is it? It's the 15-degree nozzle. It creates a narrow fan of water and provides strong pressure.
Yellow.
And it was
the
all
tip of the nozzle's yellow.
So, okay, so about this day that I spend with my godchild.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No. It's totally fine. They've already spent their money on like a couple of things from the vendor hall. Not a lot of things. And so I'm like, hey, let's hang out all day today. We'll play some video games, but we'll go shopping. Let's go shopping together, you and me, godchild, godparent. 15-minute adventure, Morty. Let's go. And they're like, absolutely. So we go to the vendor hall, and well, I proceed to buy a lot of shit. I'm talking pins and a $70 backpack. That was probably the thing I spent the most money on. But also squishmallows and
oh god,
plural
I fell off the
squishmallows.
roof.
Oh no, are you okay?
The game, yes. In real life, I probably should have broken my shins.
Does this game offer fall damage? I don't think it does.
No. There are no consequences for your actions.
But yeah, pins, stickers, a $70 backpack, squishmallows, and also 2 cross-stitch kits.
Ooh.
For the two of us to do together.
I was unaware that you knew how to cross-stitch.
I don't know how to cross-stitch.
I was unaware that you were going to learn how to cross-stitch.
There you go. So this is something that we're going to do together at some point. Haven't picked the day, but I had them pick out one, and I picked out the other. I picked out a Bulbasaur cross-stitch, and they picked a Monokuma cross-stitch from the Danganronpa series, which is superb, and I strongly recommend. Oh, right. Never mind. I'm not supposed to... I have learned with you I should not recommend things, because you will not do them. Okay. So, I'm making you...
Recommending is fine. Telling me I must is oh no, I will not be doing that. Well, now I am not going to do it.
Okay. Well, I recommend definitely playing... at some point, whenever, I recommend playing the Danganronpa series. If you've ever played the Ace Attorney games, Phoenix Wright...
yeah, I played a few of them.
Yes, it's in that it's in that similar mindset. It's a little more arcadey, and super character driven, with a wonderful plot twist at the end of the first game. So,
do you like me some plot twists?
Heck yeah! And so, with all of that in mind, for this whole weekend, I budgeted $350. Now, this includes merchandise. This includes food. So, all the things that I would buy when I would literally be in Milwaukee. And when I tallied everything up, I had spent $700.
Nailed it.
So, yes. Very much cue the Final Fantasy victory theme. Atronet says, love cross-stitch. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it. Especially with my big sausage fingers here, because tiny things like that, I kind of wish I had like little tiny robot hands that came out of my fingers, so I could do that kind of precise, intricate work. So it's either going to go great, or my hands are going to hurt in ways that I've never thought possible.
I mean, it's bold of you to assume that both of those things can't exist in the same experience.
Oh, great!
Have you tried knitting?
Oh, Lord. But it just seemed, it seems like such a really cool thing to do, and I thought that was a unique thing from a vendor to sell that at the convention. Instead of just selling artwork of finished cross-stitch projects, to be like, hey, here's all the stuff you would need to make a face of Bulbasaur on a cross-stitch. And then...
really cool, though.
Yeah. And also, the vendor was a person of color, a woman of color as well. So it was like, man, we were just hitting all the buttons here for some really cool shit by really cool people at an event like this. So
yeah,
big wins all around. So
indeed, yeah.
So my godchild was super happy. I was ecstatic. To me that. That $700 was every penny was well spent. I have no regrets over that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, spending time, even if they're not like your blood, they're your god kid, and that's like having that time together is great, because sometimes you're gonna have to recognize you're not gonna get that back.
Yep,
They're never going to be like that all the time.
that's right. And there was a there was a phase where they weren't into talking to me at all. I want to say from like age 2 to age 5. It was just like, oh yeah, hi Chris, you're here. Okay, anyway.
Oh no, anyway.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. So,
Pretty much.
yeah. But once they turned 5, then suddenly they were like, oh man, my godfather is actually somebody I actually want to talk to.
And I feel like that's going to get to be the base of a really cool relationship as you get older.
Oh,
You know, or
yeah.
as they get older too. I assume you will also continue to age, but I don't want to assume things.
I mean, I'm thinking about getting some of these summoning, the summoning graffiti on my apartment. Maybe I can get some extra years.
Just avoid that
exchange.
whole death thing. That'd be super.
Yeah. So, what did BG guy say?
He said, "Become immortal or die trying."
Yes, these are good goals.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So, yeah, that was, and of course, not to let this fall to the wayside, but let me put this into perspective. At your wedding, you had a cavalcade of all your friends from over the years, your family, all together in one place to hang out and have a good time, right? Like
right.
that's a really big point of a wedding. Is like the ultimate Marvel, the most ambitious Marvel crossover.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, being an unmarried fellow, I have seen and witnessed these things, but not personally experienced it yet. But we came close with Midwest Gaming Classic on Saturday when Henry and Holly and Seth and Marcus were all in the same place at the same time. Now, Henry and Holly know Seth from many years ago, and so it was a great, reunion catch-up thing. But the three of them had never met Marcus before.
Ooh.
And so I'm unashamedly fanboying out in front of my own friends to see everybody get together.
Aw.
And that, especially after this particularly dreary winter, was those were the endorphins and serotonin and all that good shit that I needed to live and experience.
If you can't make your own serotonin, Midwest Gaming Classic will also work just fine.
They got you covered.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. It sounds like you had a good time.
Yes, I did. I had a wonderful.
Minus the COVID, but.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we can talk about that very briefly. It was because there's really not much to say about that anymore. You get sick, if you qualify, you take the pills and you feel better. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very much I don't feel well. I have a tickle in the back of my throat on the Monday that I'm leaving Milwaukee. This had better not be anything. And then as I proceed to make my way home, on the Beltline in Madison, I start getting tired, like super tired.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I try sleeping it off, and then it gets progressively worse.
Oh no.
To the point where, like, I was so congested that Afrin would not open my nose.
That's bad.
It's like, bruh, no, we're gonna weld your nostrils shut. Air is not allowed through here.
Shit, you right. I'm sorry.
Yep. So that was the Tuesday. So then the Tuesday after Midwest Gaming Classic, I tested, found out I was positive. Immediately, started doing protocols and whatnot, and got myself the pills and pills here. And fortunately, did not I mean, I was testing negative in 3 days' time,
Hey.
so just in time to go
All good
see
things.
the Mario movie. So
Yeah, and you said it was good, right?
I loved it. As a Mario fan, I have been waiting patiently for for this, especially because um, I wanted to get over the oh well, how does Chris Pratt sound thing, and just like enjoy the movie
Yeah.
for what it is. And he was just fine. He did a fine job.
That's what I heard, is that he did fine.
Yep, they definitely treat it as a, and this isn't giving away any significant spoilers, but they actually adapt the plot lines to the 1993 movie where they're plumbers from New York City
Oh, wow.
and they get transported to the Mushroom Kingdom. So
Gotcha.
and that's also an homage, that's also a throwback to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show cartoon, which had the same thing. They were two plumbers from Brooklyn and working a particular job. They got sucked down a bathtub drain and ended up in the Mushroom Kingdom.
I hate it when that happens.
Right?
Really just kind of ruins my day.
Good old 80s plots. So yeah, the number of Easter eggs. Basically, if you're a fan of Mario, you're going to get overstimulated with references to just about everything from the Mario franchise.
Gotcha.
The plot itself is pretty basic, doesn't do anything important. You recognize, yeah, this is pretty much an ad for Mario games, and you have no problem accepting that.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of fair enough.
Yeah. So, the fortunate thing is that Illumination didn't get to do any like fart jokes or meta jokes or any of the stuff that that they would get away with in their original works like Despicable Me or Sing or Secret Life of Pets or whatever. So
Gotcha.
So yeah, absolutely wonderful movie. And yeah, recovering from COVID was a success. Only thing is that I'm still kind of recovering from it,
Ugh.
which leads into my next story about the Rock Band 3 stuff.
Yeah.
Because my voice is lower than it used to be. I spent so much time coughing over the last month that my vocal cords have taken a beating.
Yeah.
And it's not that unusual for that to happen. Singers have said that it's taken them a while to recover following COVID to like get their singing voices back. So
Interesting. I had not heard that, but I believe it, I guess.
yeah. So I recover from COVID, and then the next weekend I head down to Chicago to Marcuse's place.
Right.
And he invites his friends from Detroit, and they arrive by car.
Okay.
Which, as it turns out, is only a 5-hour drive to where Marcuse lives. So
Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
about right.
yeah, not a terribly far drive, and certainly cheaper than flying from Detroit.
Oh my god,
so-
why would you bother flying? Because then you'd have to land in O'Hare or
Yep.
Midway. Ugh, no way.
45-minute hop from Detroit to Chicago. That's basically unnecessary. So.
Yeah.
So, I told you and background guy all about this modded 360 that I have
Right.
for Rock Band 3. And prior to the weekend starting, I actually drove down to, I want to say Schaumburg, because
Yeah, sounds right.
yeah, somebody was selling a wireless 360 guitar for $50.
Hell yeah.
And they confirmed that they had cleaned it and tested it and confirmed it was working. No corroded battery contacts like I got from the last sale that I did.
Right.
So, I wanted a backup guitar in case something was wrong with this one guitar that I have.
Sure. That's very reasonable.
Yeah. So we do. So we start testing things out with Rock Band, and Marcuse's nephew Quinn is there. And this kid, I gotta tell you, he's a genius. He's 16, and he can modify consoles like nobody's business. Like you
Gotcha.
want a PlayStation Vita that has every game on it ever? He's your hookup. You want, you want to do something where, you want to like have a data exchange. He's got like half of archive.org downloaded onto external hard drives.
Good lord.
Builds his own servers.
Damn.
Looks into communities that replicate like RuneScape servers and stuff. And again,
Oh, wow.
this kid is 16. He was not around in the RuneScape days.
Yeah. What the hell's he doing with RuneScape?
But he is a huge fan of preservation of content, which I am into from a media perspective of like movies and television shows. Like,
Yeah.
Which I think we've talked about before. Like I have I have a fan edit of the Daria cartoon from from the late 90s with
Ooh.
the original music intact. Because the DVD release, they took out all the pop songs that were in the show. Which was like the entire show.
Yeah. Just sounds kind of lame.
Yes. So somebody like took audio from the TV rips, from the TV broadcasts of Daria, and then spliced that in.
Oh, that's really cool, though.
Yes. Yeah. So like if they're not gonna offer us the version that we want, well, then we will just simply download our own for free. You can either take our money or settle for zero money. Pretty easy.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Welcome to the roof.
Yes, I am here. And
I'm busy.
What in God's... I don't want to know what's on this roof.
Birds.
That's a lot of busy burbs.
That's how the birds mark their territory.
Ugh. So, alright, so I also brought Mario Party Superstars, Mario Kart 8, Smash Brothers Ultimate, and we just gamed the shit out of the entire weekend.
Hell yeah.
And Marcus turned out he wanted to turn this Rock Band thing into a competition. Dude bought a custom championship wrestling belt. Labeled The Ultimate Songbird. And on the plate is it's unique art of a musical staff with birds resting on it.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah. And I guess this was a title that he and his friends had from their college days when they played Rock Band.
Aw.
And so the goal of this weekend was to reestablish who's the best singer out of everybody.
Oh.
And let me tell you, those boys got pipes. All of his friends and Marcus, incredible singers.
That's really cool.
Yeah. They were busting out Foo Fighters, and I can't remember a lot of the others, but there was a particularly fun rendition of the song I Want to Take You to a Gay Bar, with a lot of hip thrusting, so...
I mean, I feel like that's actually a prereq to sing that song. Like, if you're not, you can't.
Indeed. So, I threw my hat in the ring, and I wanted to sing to get a shot at this championship belt.
Yeah.
So, I pick a song that I know I've done in the past. Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria.
Sure.
I love that album to pieces. I thought this is perfect. But I'm recovering from COVID.
Oh, no.
How does the meme go? Unfortunately, I'm the High King of Skyrim. Unfortunately, I'm recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
So
By the night. By Talos, this can't be happening.
So I make it about a third of the way through the song, and my voice gives out.
Oh, no.
And I am off pitch. and I am just
Oh.
I try to power my way through the rest of the song, but I can tell I'm not hitting the notes. And so, like, after the song, I even apologized. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm still recovering from COVID, and I can't hit these notes the way I thought I could. So, Marcus ended up winning.
Sure.
So go figure. The guy who buys the belt wins the belt. But next year we will have better rules established by his wife, who is a neutral party for the whole thing. So
That sounds like you had a good time, though. I'm glad.
yeah, it was wonderful. We went to the Woodfield Mall.
Yeah. Oh man.
And
Woodfield.
yeah, so we went to Texas de Brazil for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually I showed Marcus how it's done, because he didn't want to eat it all that day. He's like, "Oh, I'm saving everything for this dinner." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, you got to pregame a little bit. You got to get a little snack in here and there, because you have to stretch your stomach out. You want to get your money's worth out of a $60 all-you-can-eat buffet.
Right.
You can't not eat for the day."
Yeah. You gotta do a little something. Like, don't break your fast with something like that. That would be sad.
Right. And so, yeah, so I mean, we went there, and I humbly ordered that Deep Eddy lemon drop cocktail, which superb. Absolutely loved it. And got myself something from the salad bar. And then
Nice.
I flipped my poker chip over for meat, and I outate everybody at that table. Like, this is how
Well
it's
done, sir.
This is how it's done.
Why is there a ladder here?
It's a blue outline
Yes.
of the ladder. I'm gonna move it over here.
I mean, I figure when I'm done, I'll just yeet myself off this roof.
Yeah,
In true
there's.
millennial fashion.
We gotta figure out what the thing is that we're missing.
I looked in. It's a driveway edges.
What's the button for that? No, not that one. No, not that one. I'm finding like every button except the one I want. Clean the
Oh, you're on a controller probably, huh?
Yes. Let's see. Details. Wooden trims, walls, and the fascia.
Triggered.
What even is the fascia?
The fascia is like that, I think humans call it flashing.
Oh.
That kind of goes under the roof. So it's kind of the stuff that I'm hitting.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, I've got the fascia, I've got the gutters, walls.
Oh, here we go. I found a whole bunch of fascia
Didn't get hit.
that didn't get hit. Yeah, I see a whole bunch on the back here, on the second floor.
Yeah, I didn't go down that way.
So. Oh wait! Ah! Remember when you did the graffiti outline?
Oh! Oops.
Yeah, that.
Huh. Yeah, that'd do it, huh?
Yep, that'll do it.
Well, there's your problem.
That right there's your problem, buddy. So, oh yeah, so yeah, I also found a Choose Your Own Adventure book that was also a graphic novel.
Yeah, I saw that. I'd never seen such a thing before.
Yeah,
Is it, I mean, you said you'd done something similar before.
Yeah, when I was a kid, there were actually Mario Brother Choose Your Own Adventure kit books.
Oh.
So that was my in for that. But the thing is that I never Like, besides reading, like, this one choose-your-own-adventure book, never did any others. And I was always like, I really like doing this. Why did I stop? with just the one.
Sometimes it just be like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. Very much looking forward to it.
Good.
But, yeah, that was a very nice find, and I'm going to be on the lookout for other choose-your-own-adventure books across the ages. Hopefully there's a sizable amount of those on archive.org. I imagine that's where a handful of those have to be.
I would assume.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Wall's done. So fascia, gutter, and wooden trims times 2. Okay, but how are we supposed to reach that? I can see, like, the very top there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got that anyway. Let's see. So there was that, and then comes turkey hunting. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Last big, actually second to last big thing for this month, the turkey hunting. So, the intention was to start hunting Wednesday, because the way turkey hunting works in Wisconsin is that the season lasts 5 weeks, and hunters are given are randomly assigned 1 week.
Okay.
You put in when you purchase your license for the upcoming hunt, you indicate your preferred week to go, but there is never a guarantee that you will get that week.
Right.
So, wooden trims times 2.
Okay.
All right. Wooden trims. Oh, okay. So I get the first week.
Okay.
And my friend Katrina, who has hunted with my dad and I in the past, she also gets the first week. So we schedule things out, and she's gonna hunt with us. Based on her schedule, because she's busy with being a member of the state assembly.
Right.
We're, we find out she can hunt Saturday and Sunday. So, plan is I'm going to be out Wednesday, part of Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday, and hopefully I get something, and then Saturday and Sunday we can get her bird, and that's it. So I get there Wednesday. I arrive to my parents' house Wednesday night, go to bed at like 8:30. I'm popping melatonin, a little bit of Tylenol, whatever I can get that will, tell my body, hey, you got to sleep now. I know it's early. I know it's not when we usually sleep, but you got to do it.
Right.
And then at 2:30 a.m. thunderstorms roll through.
Perfect.
With a roll of thunder that is so long, it lasts 10 minutes.
Holy crap.
Constant thunder. Okay, seriously,
Lord.
What are the remaining... Oh, here we go. I think I found... some of the gutter that was...
Oh.
And so I get up, so I wake up and I realize that the sun is out, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Don't like that.
We were supposed to wake up at 4.
Ugh. Sun does not come out that early.
No. Why is the sun out? And it turns out that my dad turned off his alarm.
Oh.
The thunderstorms were so intense, he was like, oh no, we're not. Whatever will be out there is not going to be walking around. It will be a complete crapshoot if we try to hunt in that. So,
fair enough.
So his thought process was, okay, we will simply hunt later in the day after the rain is done.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely reasonable. So we do. So I get in a little bit of extra work. I attend a meeting that I have to attend, and then once it's done, then off we go for turkey hunting. And I get into the tent. I sit in my lounge chair next to my dad, and I just sigh the biggest sigh of relief. I'm in nature. I'm chilling with my pops. Life is good.
Hell yeah.
And so we just do what we usually do when we hang out together and just talk and share stories and bullshit. So, unfortunately, all day. So for the half of the Thursday that we hunted, not a single thing showed up. There was one turkey that gobbled behind us, but never showed its face.
Rude.
Yeah. So Thursday was a wash. Friday, we get up at 4 a.m. And, I got like 7 hours of sleep in, so technically I'm ready, but I didn't like it.
No, no one likes it. That's not an hour for people.
No. But the thing is that the place where we hunt... Ooh, job complete. Okay.
I found it. It was underneath the underside of the porch.
Oh, God. It also... it's showing me a replay of when Henry and I were doing this, and then when you came along and took over.
Oh, my God. Ooh.
All right. Ooh, we can clean the shoe house.
Hey, I'm good with whatever.
So let's see if this loads for you, if I don't have to do another invite code or whatever.
This is some bullshit.
You appear to be listed, so yes.
I'm here. Oh, that... You said shoe house, and I really didn't know what I expected.
There's
Gonna be honest.
There's definitely a short, perhaps even little, lady of senior stature living in this house. So, all right. So anyway, it's Thursday morning. We hear gobbling everywhere. It's wonderful. The thing is that the place where we hunt is about 30 to 35 minutes away from my parents' house.
Okay.
And sunrise is at 6. So ideally, you want to be in your turkey blind at 5. Because you are leaving beyond a shadow of a doubt that the turkeys have no idea that you're there. They're busy sleeping. They don't hear any movement going on. So
That makes sense to me.
You are there, but you're not there. You're in hiding. So that's
Sneak up on the turkeys.
exactly. So that's a very big part of why we get up so early. Is that there is no interruption to their day, to their routine. At least in the morning
sense.
anyway. So, but yeah, so we hear turkeys, but none of them show up. So we're kind of like, all right, we know there are turkeys here, so what the hell? So we give up at about 9 o'clock. We hunt on my uncle's property, and he wanted to make us breakfast. So we go inside. He makes us French toast and some applewood smoked bacon, and
Yum.
we talk. We have a good time, and then we're like, okay, well, let's rethink the strategy here, because with turkeys, it's really a matter of being in the right place at the right time.
Shit.
Right.
They are
Shit.
they are unpredictable in terms of where they'll go.
Why are you a step stool?
Even
I'm
if you
putting this up.
even if you have
Yeah.
even if you have like a place where you regularly leave things for them to eat, like bread or eggshells, or as my uncle likes to do, pistachios, there's no guarantee that they will come to that place to eat.
Shit.
Right.
Even daily. they'll know it's there, but it's not the only place they eat. And they can be erratic. They can be they can be fussy about where they go.
Sorry.
So it's all good.
On the athletic level.
And so we're like, okay, well let's take a drive around the block. We heard all these turkeys, so what the hell? Why aren't we hearing them? Where did they go? Why aren't we seeing them? So we drive around the block, and sure enough, about a quarter mile away from where we're hunting, we can see from the road a flock of turkeys just chilling in the neighbor's field.
Just vibing.
Just vibing. So, strategy begins, and my dad proceeds to rev his engine to scare them away.
Huh.
We want to scare them back into the woods towards my uncle's property.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So he does that. He's revving the engine, and they start running back into the woods.
Shit.
Atronet says that I'm getting invested in bonus background guy's frustration.
He found the athletic level in Odyssey.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That will cause rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we scare the turkeys away, and we're gonna go to a different turkey tent. My dad has several of them installed and set up across the property.
Like a prepper, but for turkey hunting.
Exactly. So we get to that. So we quick drive around the block and go into the field, and we go to where this other tent is. And the idea is we're gonna hustle, we're gonna get inside, and then we're gonna start calling in the turkeys. But we arrive there, and I'm getting out of the truck, and I see another flock of turkeys literally running away from us into the woods.
Let's see some speedrunner do this level.
Oh my god. So did you like chase the turkey down and just like have a Mortal Kombat fist fight with, your hands?
I wanted to. I actually was lifting my shotgun. I'm like, I'm gonna take a shot. Screw this. But it didn't work out. So my dad's like, okay, this place is a bust. We're not going to hunt here. We're gonna hunt on your other uncle's property. So we do that.
Okay.
It was where we hunted on Thursday, and we proceed to see nothing. It's just absolutely dead quiet over there. So, we give it an honest shot for a few hours and just give up and head back. So for proper context, we have two different hunting lands that we hunt on.
Right.
So Thursday was at one uncle's place, and then Friday was at another uncle's place. So.
Sure.
So, we get back to the uncle who made us breakfast.
Gotcha.
And I just got a text in-game that says, you got a stinky butt.
Yeah, that
So.
sounds rude, but okay.
Yeah, very rude. But in any case, we get back to my uncle's cabin, and as I'm like getting out of the truck, I see into the woods where our tent is, another flock of turkeys is running away. They were in front of the tent where we were hunting if we had been there.
Ugh.
I'm losing my mind at this point. I'm like, why? Why do we keep running into the turkeys just as they're leaving?
Turkeys got places to be, man.
This is the worst. Why can't they be there when we are? So we go inside, and my uncle makes us lunch. And then, we're done eating. We're about to head back to our tent, and we look out the bedroom, my uncle's bedroom window, and we see that some turkeys have returned.
To do that.
Oh.
And now my uncle, he's like a great uncle. He was born in like 1940, like 41, something like that.
Sure.
So he comes from a culture where shooting deer or even turkeys out of your bedroom or bathroom window, totally valid. Just do it. Get the meat. So.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
It was right there the whole time.
Oh no.
He has been successful.
I
know
am also
they're
invested.
You got the moon, everybody.
Yay!
Just stay on there.
They can hear you. It's okay.
No, it's
People are invested in your Super Mario Odyssey adventures.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. It's like a side plot happening in the background. It's wonderful. So we strategize and wait for the turkeys to just walk away, so we can sneak back into the tent, and we do. And this is about 2:00 in the afternoon.
Sure.
So we get back in there, and we're just minding our business and talking and stuff. And then 4:00 hits, and all of a sudden,
Hashtag turkey time.
all of a sudden, it's turkey time. I see this really nice Tom walking across the bridge that runs over a creek, and he's all fanned out. He's got a nice long beard, a respectable sized turkey, and I'm like, yeah, this is good. I could take this one. And I'm kind of talking this through with my dad. And I tell him, hey, this is a nice one, but I don't think I'm going to take this one. There's got to be a bigger one that's coming. Because when turkeys move in flocks, there's always like the alpha, the big chief, the head honcho turkey.
The thick boy, yes.
The thick boy always arrives last. And so I'm talking this through with my dad. I'm like, yeah, this is a nice bird, but I'm going to let him go. And my dad's confused at me. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? But it turns out, based on the viewing angle of what he could see and what I could see, we were talking about two very different birds.
Oh.
So he saw that was still across the creek an even larger turkey. And he had never seen this one that I'm looking at. It's just out of his viewing angle.
Gotcha.
So when it does arrive into view, he's like, whoa, holy shit. So finally, the one that he's been staring at comes into my view. And he's still across the creek. This is about, I want to say, 20 yards away from this one turkey I've been looking at. And when he fans out, he looks like, it's almost like the two of them are standing next to each other. That's how large, that's how large, chunky this boy is.
Thick boy.
Yes. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, that's the one I want. That is the boy.
That boy has at least 3 C's to his name.
Yes. So, Atronet just dropped a pun, a tale of two turkeys. It's very appropriate, yes. Thank you. So I wait for this turkey to cross the creek, walk across the bridge, and like clockwork, it just, he comes over, I raise my gun, and then things get just a tiny bit complicated. Because
Okay.
when you want to go for the killing shot on a turkey, you want to shoot them. We hunt with a shotgun, so a shotgun, of course, has spread from all the BBs in the shell.
Right.
And as a result, you want to minimize the coverage of where you're shooting them. So the strategy is to shoot them where their neck meets the rest of their body.
Oh.
Now,
Gotcha.
in many situations, this is very easy to do. Because a turkey will, when they walk, normally they'll stick their neck out, and it'll be at like a nice, reasonable angle, so that you can see where it connects with their body and make an easy shot. However, this boy was showing off for the ladies, so his neck was regularly tucked in. So
Gotcha.
I had to wait for him to bring out his neck even just a little bit. And fortunately he did. So I fired, boom, down he goes right where he's standing. Barely puts up a fight.
All the lady turkeys are like, well, that's a weird display, but all right.
Yep. And so the first Tom that I mentioned, he kind of like runs away a little bit, and then he sticks around And he starts flaunting his stuff. He starts showing off the goods.
It's like, well, if you're not gonna, I am.
So he and another Tom start fighting for supremacy. A thing that I did not know turkeys will do if two males are fighting, they will hit each other in the head like giraffes. Swing their heads at each other for that sacred role of head honcho turkey. And so we're stuck watching, and the two turkeys are like a considerable distance from us, so we're waiting literally 40 minutes this goes on. The fighting and the showboating and all that, and so finally my dad starts making some fake gobble noises to get them to go away. So that they do, I can harvest my bird, and we take the and so I like approach my bird, and I realize that I accidentally shot a chunk of its beard off.
Oh no!
This is not the first time I've done this, but when I did it the last time, I swore to myself I would never. If I made that mistake again, I was going to basically ensure that I would have the beard for mounting. So I get on the ground and I pick up every whisker. And I got a handful of turk beard in my left hand. As my dad's walking up to the truck to put the turkey in the back so we can go.
So your dad didn't get a bird?
I'll get to that part.
Okay.
Because the answer is yes, but definitely not the way we expected it. So I get all the whiskers, and we go to the bar where my dad likes to frequent, and it turns out that he entered me in a contest for the biggest turkey for the season, and we weigh it, and it's 27.1 pounds.
Holy crap!
Yes,
that's a big bird.
That is a big fucking bird. And looking at the other entries of people who had submitted thus far, the average is 20 pounds. Oh my God. The person who came the closest was 25 pounds.
Solid 2-pound lead. Good work.
Yeah, thanks. And since it's the start of the season, the turkeys are going to be running around. They're going to be losing weight for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, I would bet.
So the odds are in my favor that I may win.
King Turkey.
I may win. Actually, they have like 3 contests. There's the heaviest bird, the longest beard, and the longest spurs.
Oh man, you might get all 3.
I might get all 3. The spurs were 1.25 inches in length.
Oh,
that
sounds
terrifying.
Yeah,
is the word, because it is. It's like you look at it and it's
a big boy.
Yeah, like they look like teeth on the back of its legs. No joke.
Jeez, I didn't know they had those.
They do. They're very sharp. So
don't fight a turkey unless necessary.
No, which is a part of the next story I'm going to tell you for turkey hunting. So I have all the meat here. I have it currently soaking in. I have it soaking in bowls because I have to draw the blood out of it.
Right.
So once that's done, then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to cook it. If I'm going to make like turkey strips or maybe like pulled turkey for sandwiches or whatever. Yeah. I also have the gizzard and the heart, so I can use that for making gravy.
There you go.
So I get my bird, and now it's Katrina's turn to hunt with us.
Right.
And we get a repeat of Friday.
Oh.
You know, we go out Saturday. We hear all these turkeys that are just going wild in the morning, and then they disappear. All we see show up at the most are hens, and you can't shoot hens during this season.
I did not know that.
Yep. During the spring season, you can't shoot hens, but in the fall you can. The only reason you can't shoot them during the spring season is that it's their mating season.
Gotcha. That
So-
actually tracks.
Yeah. So when I mentioned that, the turkeys are going to lose weight over the next few weeks, it's because they horny.
Yeah.
Bonk
They're
bat-
all getting sent back to horny jail.
Yep, bonk bats everywhere.
That's an interesting thing to name your gun, but okay.
It's definitely that. So, yeah, we hunt on Saturday, and it's a complete wash, save for just seeing some hens. And then Sunday, we can only hunt half the day. Katrina has to go to an Eagle Scout ceremony, and my dad and I have to go to a birthday party for my cousin's son, who's turning 2.
Okay.
And so we have a hard stop of 11:30, so that we can all get to our stuff on time. 11
Right.
o'clock, turkeys start coming in.
Oh, of course.
But here's the part that sucks. See, I mentioned this whole bridge.
Yeah.
And, in the creek and all that. Well, this group decides, you know what? Bridges are for squares. We're gonna just fly over wherever we feel like.
Classic turkey.
Yep. And so they arrive, and a Tom shows up, and we're thinking, oh, this is perfect. Katrina's going to finally get her bird. This is the 3rd year she's hunted with us, and she hasn't gotten a bird yet. But
Sure.
it comes in at such an angle that she can't get a shot from where she's sitting.
Ah.
So her and my dad agree to switch seats. But as soon as she gets up, the turkeys notice that there's movement in our tent.
Oh, no.
Now, we're in a camouflage tent, and we have a mesh coating surrounding the viewing area. But, you're close enough. You can see something shifty's going on.
Yeah.
So they start leaving, and this Tom that we're looking at, he starts leaving. And then my dad's like, should I take the shot? And I'm like, yes! Oh my god, take the shot. Get this fucker. We've been sitting out here how many hours? Because I mentioned Saturday was a bust. We hunted from 5 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Ugh.
We were
That's
out
too
there.
many.
It is too many. So he shoots at it, and it goes down, and he tells me to run out there, to run over to it and step on its neck. Or step on its head.
Oh.
Which sometimes you have to do, because if you don't get a good killing shot, they'll get up and they'll fly away. And they'll just go die somewhere else.
Classic.
So if you step on their head, you basically choke them out, and then they just die. However, my dad is very he's experienced at doing this, and I am not. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm basing his instructions off of something I saw him do a few times over the years, but with no further instructions.
Yeah.
And let's just say it went really bad. I'm running. First of all, I'm running at full speed in a swamp, so I've got terrain that is mushing underneath me.
Ugh.
So that's the first problem. So when I finally get to this turkey, my heart and my lungs are like, bro, what the hell, man? This is not what we planned for. This is not normal.
I didn't sign on for this.
Yep. And so my body's like kind of entering a shock mode of like, whoa, this is a lot of energy in a very short time. Heart, you kind of have to work into overtime for probably the next hour or so. We don't know. Just start going. And so I have that. I also have all this adrenaline running through my body. So I'm like really taxing my body for this. And this turkey is flopping around. And I do not know that part of the strategy for stepping on the head is that if you want to make sure they don't get away, that you step on their wing.
Oh, yeah.
So
no.
So here I am on uneven terrain, trying to step on its head, which of course it's upright and flailing around everywhere. So
Yeah.
I keep missing. And I fall over several times. And my friend...
it's a funny story for later, right?
Oh, it absolutely is. Katrina's just watching it from a distance to be like, I'm not going to get involved with whatever this is. Because she has no idea about what we're doing. Or what I'm doing. And my dad's watching, like... already kind of like regretting, man, I should have told him about the other steps involved for doing this. And eventually, I finally step on the turkey's head and get him to stop moving. I'm absolutely gassed and then some. And the aftermath is that out of all of its tail feathers, only 3 remained.
Oh.
And a good chunk of its back feathers, right behind its neck, are ripped off of it.
Oh no.
And the shotgun did not do that.
Oops.
That was me trying to step on the bird and accidentally stepping on those feathers. And of course, as the turkey was flailing, it was kind of self-plucking. So,
Oof.
not my best experience.
I mean, in your defense, you didn't know.
I did not know. Now, fortunately, it wasn't like a respectable bird or anything. So my dad was like, whatever. We've been doing this for 25 years. Because I offered to grab the tail feathers and everything, and he's like, nah, don't bother. We got the meat, let's just get out of here. So my dad got his bird. Just customized with my own personal touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we leave with plenty of time to get to do our own stuff. But we decide, you know what? Let's go stop by the spot where we tried hunting on Friday, where I first saw those turkeys running away.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, it's been a couple of days. Let's see what's there.
Did they go back?
Turns out, on both days, they came back. So all that time that we saw nothing, they were at the tent that we were not in.
That's just rude.
Very super rude. So at that point, as we're driving back, my dad's like, so Katrina, what's your availability for tomorrow? And she looks at her calendar and she's like, well, hey, I could hunt one more morning. Let's do it. I got caucus at like 11, but whatever. And so I drive back to Madison on Monday, and the two of them go hunt together.
Aw.
Now, I checked in with them, and unfortunately, they didn't get anything, but ultimately Katrina had a good time, and she can't wait till next year.
When she'll get her bird, right?
Right? Very feeling the Anakin meme here.
And then I'll get my bird, right?
So that's the goal. That's the intent. So we'll see.
Sounds like you had a very busy but good couple of weeks.
Yeah. I apologize. This has taken like an hour for me to explain all of this, but
I'm not even mad.
Okay. But yeah, it's been, especially compared to the winter where I was like doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like the weekend hanging out with you and background guy was like the start of several consecutive weekends of energizing my social batteries.
Yeah.
So it rocked. All of it rocked, and I am grateful. So.
Good.
And then finally, this coming weekend, my sister and my hang on, I gotta switch to the. There we go. My first cousins and my sister and I are getting together for our first ever cousins weekend.
Nice.
So they're coming. They're gonna stay at my apartment for the weekend, and I'm gonna take them to House on the Rock because they've all never been there.
Nice.
And we're also going to Essen House.
Why does Essen House sound so darn familiar to me?
They're the ones that do the glass, the Das Boot, the glass boot filled with beer.
Yes.
And my cousins, they tend to, so they go to this event in a town called Pulaski for a weekend long polka event. That's like, what if Woodstock was exclusively polka music? And they can drink, and they can drink like nobody's business. So when I showed them the rules for the Das Boot, and showed them how if you drink 3 of the boots you get a free T-shirt,
Oh no.
they were like, "Oh, this is a need," and we're gonna try to get 4 T-shirts.
Oh my god. Good luck.
And I'm like, my sister and I don't drink that much beer, but we'll see how far we can go. And yes, we will be hiring an Uber to and
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
from. Yeah. So this was all rooted in spending a weekend watching a Goofy movie, and
Yeah.
and playing the board game that I have of a Goofy movie, because they made a board game.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they made it was like a $12 board game or something like that, and I haven't gotten to play it yet. So
No better time like the present.
exactly. So it turned into this. Hey, well, our parents do this. They tend to have like this cousins weekend with their cousins. Why don't we do that? So
Hell yeah.
that's what that became. So, and that's why I mentioned to you earlier outside of the stream, I have to focus on
Cleaning.
cleaning.
Yeah.
So, and it is what it is. It's just a thing you got to do.
Yeah. No, it's good to do. Just every once in a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so... And then finally, after all of that, I have nothing on my schedule. Until Summer Games Done Quick.
Right, and that's coming up end of May?
Correct. Memorial Day weekend.
Gotcha. Oh. You have had a very busy April, my good sir.
Yes. Yeah, definitely an epic April, and end of March too. First, the final 2 weekends of March were also pretty stellar
Oh yeah.
because of the whole Clone Hero thing and hanging out with your friends.
Yeah. Trying to think, like, what have we... has been up with me, because there's definitely not necessarily as many adventures. Trying to think. Let's see. So Clone Hero. What the hell happened the next weekend? I don't remember. But I think this last weekend, or the weekend before that, my mom and my sister and I were actually out in wine country in California.
Oh yes, please do tell about this.
So both my mom and my sister had milestone birthdays this year. And they said, well, to celebrate, why don't we all do like a girls' trip out to Sonoma or Napa is probably the more famous area.
Okay.
So it's kind of in Northern California. We flew into San Diego on a Thursday, late Thursday night, And we met up. We were all at the same, we got the same hotel, and we were like, great, perfect. Next morning, picked up a car. We were like, we're going to take turns, just driving around Sonoma, in that area. And my sister and I had kind of worked on the agenda. So we had like, we're going here, we're going there. And we just ended up puttering all over, California. So we spent a day kind of going over some of the wineries in Sonoma County. We spent some time. We drove out to the coast and tried to watch the sunset, but it was also blowing like 10,000 miles an hour. And I was like, hey, I like all of my skin on my body as opposed to sandblasted off. Maybe we rethink our life choices. We did that. It was just a really good, it was a fun time. But then I got in on, I think it's like, I got in super late on Tuesday to O'Hare. So then you have to drive all the way from O'Hare back to Madison.
Oh,
which is,
yeah.
Another 2 hours. Yeah, like, please end my suffering.
You mean you do? I mean, but the appeal of the Belvedere Oasis.
It's one of like the last oases, and the Starbucks pulled out, so it's bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want popcorn? You can get popcorn.
First of all, how dare you disparage Garrett's like that?
It does smell very good, so.
It is very good. I can attest to the fact that it is quite delicious. But yeah, it was just a like, nope, we're getting in and we are driving. We're going home. Got home. I think I spent 3 nights in my own bed over a 2-week span.
Holy moly.
I got home, slept in my own bed on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then this past weekend, I was up in Wisconsin Dells because there was a beer festival that we had signed up to go to.
Ooh.
Prior to me knowing I was going to be in wine country the prior weekend. So we went to that, and that was actually a lot of fun. I got to try a lot of beers that I wouldn't have tried otherwise, which was nice. And it wasn't, I feel like lately a lot of the beers have been like, oops, all IPAs.
Yeah.
Which is never been my jam.
Can we be done with IPAs? It's just an excuse for getting hipstery over bad batches of otherwise better beers.
Like, I understand that it is from a time when you had to transport the beers and the beers needed to have a high hop count to keep like fresh. I get that. We have the power to not be like that. To be different.
Yes.
And we don't have to be that way. So it was a lot of really good beers, though. Had a great time.
Good.
Yeah. But it has been a very whirlwind, like, oh my god, very busy. Because now we're coming back and we're trying to plan out. We're starting to get into gardening season. And nice eye.
I'm repeatedly hitting the right directional button to find whatever glowy shit is still on here.
Right directional?
So you're playing on keyboard, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm not sure what button it is, but there is a button that when you press it, it'll highlight what remaining debris needs to be power washed. Which, all the credit to you for doing that this entire time without it.
It says tab. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, wherever it is, it's very much like... It's not easy to find.
No.
The boot wall and the wooden trim apparently are still dirty, which I'm having a hard time believing.
Yeah, don't believe that in the slightest.
But man, you went to wine country and you went to a beer festival. That's freaking rad.
Rest in peace, my poor liver.
Yeah, yeah, just get a pig liver. It's like starting over.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the thing is about wine country, I don't like really a lot of red wine. It's just never been my jam. And I didn't realize that wine country, like California, is like a lot of red wine, a lot of Cabernet, a lot of Pinot Noir, a lot of Zinfandel, actually. And so the very first one, it was just like, oh, it's all Zinfandel. And I'm like,
Oops.
guess we're doing this. Yeah. So that was kind of oh god. Okay, I'm good. It was an interesting experience, but it was good. Yeah, we're getting into gardening season, and
That's right.
I have been plotting this for a year or so now. Like, okay, here's what I want to do, here's how I want to do it, you know, trying to pick out what plants love full sun, what plants love full shade. We planted a so there currently in our backyard is an oak tree. The oak tree was not there when we moved into the house. What was there was a maple tree. The first maple was fine for the first year. And then, because of some bullshit, its roots literally strangled itself to death. That is not a joke, that is not an exaggeration, that is actually what happened.
That is natural selection just being a real dick.
You're gonna laugh.
Uh-oh.
So it was still under warranty, so we went to the company and we said, hey, tree's dead. Explain. And they said, oh no, let us provide you another tree. And we said, great, we would love another tree to not die. Note that phrasing, we would love another tree to not die. So they installed the new tree in like early July, late June, early July. And by early July, mid-July, it was losing its leaves. And we're like, hey,
What?
I feel like that's not supposed to happen. So we reached out, we had pictures, we're like, hey, this is kind of worrying us. Is this okay? And they said, oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Are you sure? It's losing a lot of leaves. Yeah. Well, it's done for the season. So, you know, it doesn't need those anymore. I'm like, that seems fake, but okay.
Yeah.
What? I found some of the trim. I don't know where I found it. I just started hitting things.
Good. Oh, and all that's left is some part of the wall.
Brick. Another brick in the wall.
Hey.
So
leave those kids alone. Also, I have to find a way to put the ladder down. But anyway, please continue.
So we're like, okay, but this tree really doesn't seem like it's doing so hot. And they said, listen, if the tree, we'll give you another year. If the tree doesn't come back in the spring, let us know. We'll take care of it. Well, lo and behold, spring comes around. So this is spring of 2022. And it starts to bud out. And we're like, great. Maybe we were wrong. We were so happy to have been wrong. And then it never leaves. So it's just buds.
Ooh.
We're like, oh, dog, the tree is dead. Super dead. And they tried to go back on it. And we're like, I think the fuck not. I'm not here for your tree nonsense. Give us the tree. You said you'd replace it. Replace the tree.
Right.
So we fought and fought and fought, and they're like, well, it's not under warranty, and blah, blah, blah. And we said, this tree was dead on arrival. Like, it did not come back. give us a tree that's not dead, please and thank you. And they wouldn't. They wouldn't. So finally, they said, look, if you stop hassling us, we'll give you a gift card amount for the value of the tree, and will you go away? And we said, sure. But now, we have this dead tree in our yard. And so I may have expressed some rage at some point, and the tree is no... My neighbor came out, and I was out there with a handsaw,
Ah!
and the whole top crown had been cut down at this point. Like, it was gone.
Oh my. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he's like, what do you got there? And I'm like, a smoothie. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm just cutting back the stuff that's dead. And he's like, it's literally just a trunk. Like, that's it, nothing else. So we cut it down, we pulled the roots out. I mean, we pulled the roots out, and the metal cage that they have around the root ball was still on it. So there's no way this tree could have grown. Like, the roots didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we reached out, and we found what I assume is a druid. I was not there. Background guy was when he came to assess our yard. And so Hovey, background guy, is like, hey, come help. Like, we want a new tree. Dude comes out and is, like, apparently knocking on the ground and, like, communing with the tree, and he says, tree's dead. This was before I cut it down. We're like, yes, we know that one. And he's like, yeah, it was dead on arrival. We're like, well, how do you know? He's like, let me guess. It leafed, didn't come back in the spring, right? We're like, yeah, how'd you know? So he's sitting there and he says, well, the thing is, tree's like a battery. In the spring, it sends out all the roots, and it makes leaves, so it can store up all of the energy in the summer, you know, through all the spring and all the summer, and it stores a lot of that in the trunk from the roots, but it still needs the leaves. And then obviously it stores that all through the winter, and in spring it needs the extra stored energy kind of as a jump. Think of like jumping your car to get going again. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my god, I found it.
Oh my god, where was it?
It's this wall here. I found just like the faintest hints.
Oh, there it was.
Oh.
It's done. Oh, the evil is defeated.
Oh my god.
Ah.
What? Fuck this house.
Right?
We did such
Fuck
a good
you, shoe house.
Oh my god. Sorry, we left some dust on on the front of your boot.
I feel like you can do that on your own, lady.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Okay. Let's take an easy one.
Yeah.
We're gonna clean a golf cart.
Yeah. So, okay. So Druid Man is communing with the dead tree. And we're like, okay. So he's explaining to us what is, you know, how our tree died and all that stuff. We said, well, okay. Well, this one's, you know, clearly dead, no good. We would like to have one that is no longer dead and is alive.
Right.
And dude apparently pulls out an app on his phone and is like, well, the sun's here. It's a cloudy day, so you can't actually see the sun. He's like, this is the path of the sun, and this is where it goes, so, you know. And he turns, he's like, you want a red oak? I'm sorry? Red oak. You want a red oak? Well, how do you know I want a red oak?
Yeah, for real.
Okay, what do you want the tree to do? Well, we want it to look nice. We want it to provide some shade. Maybe if there are tiny heathens at some point in the future, something climbable. Want it to look, you know, nice in the fall.
Yeah.
Red oak. It's going to turn real nice and red in the fall. You want a red oak.
Okay.
Shit, I guess you're right, buddy. Where do you want to put the red oak? where do we want to put the tree? Magic Druid Man. So we work out, he comes, you know, eventually, and puts in the new tree. And that was last fall. And now, obviously, we're a little gun-shy. We've had a couple trees die in this area. We're like, hey, how do we know this one isn't gonna die? And he gives us the look, and he's like, not on my watch. Oh! Like,
this is a tree guy.
If this tree dies, me and my boys will take it personally. Like, I have some fears, but also, yeah, that's the right guy. Um, so, what the hell's the... Oh, look at you go.
Oh, I love like doing these in between the really big jobs because
Yeah.
it's just like a nice reprieve and be like, hey, you don't have to spend forever and a day figuring out this one.
Yeah. Oh, so nice.
Yes, this game is so
But yeah.
great, so relaxing.
It really is. But yeah, so
Watch me.
we have ask and ye shall receive. So thankfully the new tree is alive and has leaves, which is great. I love that for all of us. They came by because they were like, yeah, the tree installation, you get a fertilizer, but we didn't do that because it was the fall. So, you know, here you go, have some. I said, thank you. They said, it looks great. So the tree's alive. But I've been waiting on that tree to get planted to plant a second tree that we had waiting in the wings all winter. And this tree is actually kind of unique because when I was young, I was a little weird. And for my birthday, when I was 10, I asked my parents, I said, I want a tree. And so we went down to the nursery, and I picked out this big, beautiful red maple. And it has been growing in the front yard of my childhood home ever since. So, yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. And when we got married and all that, we bought the house, my parents were like, we put a couple seeds in a pot to see if they'd grow. And I said, you fool, it's a maple. Of course it's going to grow. Thing's a damn whore. There's 4 other saplings in your backyard that we didn't plant of the same tree. So that was in a pot all winter, and I wanted to wait until spring. So we put that in, and I think the same weekend the druids came and they looked at it. They literally looked at it. It has no leaves at this point. And they're like, oh, that's a silver maple, red maple hybrid, isn't it? How the hell could you know that it has no leaves? It's a glorified stick. And they went away with their druid ways, and I was like, they said it looked good, so I was happy.
Okay, well, they're happy. All right.
The druid said it's good. It's good.
Exactly.
Do not question the druids. So we're waiting on making a couple new planter beds and like other garden beds and stuff until we'd had both the trees kind of like situated, so we knew the layout. And now that that's done, we're kind of like, okay, so we need to go and get more, I'm going to build some more standing beds. I'm going to make some gardens for vegetables and stuff. But then we're also going to do, there's another corner that gets a little swampy when it rains. And I was like, why don't we just make that into a bed? It'll encompass the tiny tree, not the oak, the maple. And then that'll be easy. We won't have to mow it. It'll be easier to deal with. But we have to we have to rip up the grass. We have to put the plants back there, which involves taking a whole bunch of plants from the front yard and moving them to the back, because our house faces primarily north, which means it doesn't get a lot of that sun.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, I have a whole bunch of sun-loving plants up there. So daylilies and, other good stuff.
Yep.
So we're going to move all of that to the back so it gets all that nice full sun. But it's just a lot of like, okay, gotta do that, gotta do this. And on top of all that, we're kind of on a timeline because I have no races in May. I will be, I'm not traveling, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything crazy. But starting in June, of the 4 weekends in June, I think I have a race on 3 of them.
Oh, your feet.
F in the chat for my feet, F in the chat
legs.
for my soul. Yeah.
Everything. Oh boy.
Yeah. So it's a lot, and that's the month that I have to start marathon training.
Oh
So
no.
I'm like, plus it is
That's
also, why do I have the hops of a freaking NBA player? This is insane. Um,
although consider that's a hell of a way to marathon train.
yeah. Um, but yeah. So I'm like, we gotta get all our like food plants essentially in the ground by, as Mother's Day is the commonly held like wisdom, is, you Mother's Day is when you want to have like your beans and your other things planted.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we only have a couple more weeks to kind of get everything together, build the planter boxes that I want. So there's going to be a lot of projects, which is good. It's just a lot of extra planning and work. So
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a. It's interesting outside looking in for someone like me who doesn't have a garden and a place to really plant anything, and to really like not know how much of a how much effort you have to put in to
Yeah,
just prep
it's
that
weird.
stuff. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's weird because people are like, well, you could just buy your beans at the grocery store. I'm like, yeah, but I have this packet of seeds that I bought for like $2 and I'm going to get beans all summer. So that feels like a good trade-off to me.
Because it is.
Yeah. Um, and I have a pollinator garden that I definitely need some cleaning up, just separating out some stuff. Today, during my lunch break,
Mm-hmm.
I went and I have this plant in the front called creeping phlox.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you've probably seen the more common wild phlox is very common in Wisconsin to see along roadsides. It's like tall with like pinkish purple flowers.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I have
it
probably
is,
seen this. Yes.
yes, it has a cousin, which is called creeping phlox, which is very low, like ground cover.
Mm-hmm.
And my creeping phlox was attempting to escape by like fleeing into the yard or across all of my walkways and things like that.
Ah.
And I replanted that so it is in a much more optimal position of like, hey, maybe be different, be over here.
Right.
Uh,
Please
because
be.
again, it
Please
liked
be different.
sun and it was on the north side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it did not get as much sun as it wanted or needed. So
Ah.
I'm trying to like get stuff done on lunch breaks and things. So it's like, oh, hey, let's make sure that I'm using my time effectively.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a friend who loves plants and loves planting, and he's like itching. He found a really good greenhouse and he's itching to go with us. And I'm like, I want to go, but we have to finish all this other stuff first, which sucks.
Right. Yeah. A lot of ambition, but
Yeah, not ready to get there yet.
right. Well, I hope you do.
Oh, we will. It's just a lot of like, you got to get there.
Right.
But yeah, we're planning a lot of really good stuff this summer. Hopefully beans and cucumbers and
Oh,
peppers.
you said the magic word. I love summer cucumbers.
My very first year married,
Mm-hmm.
I grew cucumbers that were so aggressive they choked out like all these beans next door to it. It was growing through the chicken wire. It was an upsetting amount of cucumbers. And then ever since, I have not been able to grow them.
Oh.
So I've got to see what's going on with that. I'm going to try a couple different things, see what's up. Because they just don't take off, and I don't think they like being in a pot.
Oh, yeah,
that's-
that makes sense. And I'm speaking from actually a little experience in this. I grew up near a cucumber farm that my dad frequented and did work for the owners. So I have never seen cucumbers work in such a way where they are not just given all the real estate they need to grow and thrive.
It's hard to do that when you have limited space and you want to grow other things.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I'm
So-
also biased in favor of cucumbers, so I'd be like, all right, everything else has to make room for the cucumbers.
That's fair.
We prioritize them. We're prioritizing the cukes.
Well, because we also want to try blackberries and strawberries and what else were we thinking of doing? Maybe a blueberry bush,
Ah,
because we've been really into smoothies, and you know, it'd be nice to have fresh fruit. So
yeah, absolutely.
see if we can get that. Jalapenos, basil.
Ooh. So what my parents do that would be worth consideration, they have raised garden beds using old, what are they? Like they used to be, I want to say like 50-gallon drums.
Okay.
And so my dad cut them in half, horizontally, so that they make a nice
Got
little
it.
U-boat shape. And that's what
Well-
he uses for growing tomatoes and peppers.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That is what I am planning on building. So when COVID rolled around, I got bored and I built 2 counter height standing garden beds.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to like keep kneeling down to get to them. And those house our green onions and our green beans for the most part. But we're gonna add 2 more 2-foot by 2-foot by 4-foot big boys
Mm-hmm.
that'll house some of the other stuff, and we're gonna make a big, like, essentially a U-shaped planter. So
Nice.
we will have more real estate. It'll be good. It's
Mhm.
just a like, okay, how and where do we get the materials and the time?
Mm-hmm. Atronet says, my experience with gardening extends to Minecraft only.
You know, I can't garden in Minecraft, so by our powers combined, you know, we make a whole functioning garden.
Right? Yeah, I've never... I actually have, little to no experience in Minecraft.
A
Entirely.
little bit. But I don't think I ever did it, like, hardcore.
Yeah, I had kids, Godchild included, who tried getting me in on it, and it just never clicked with me. So,
No, it just...
uh,
We were having that discussion. I don't think we can play games, I think, the way that some of the younger generation does.
yeah, it just doesn't scratch the itch, you know. And it's certainly it's definitely not a knock to the game itself. I know
Yeah.
that Minecraft allows for an insane amount of creativity. But I don't know. Maybe it's also that I haven't found. For me, video games, it's a lot of it has to be like, okay, where's the hook? Like, what's the hook that appeals to me specifically?
Yes.
So, I didn't play Call of Duty for almost my whole life. But doing a first-person shooter that I hadn't done yet was the hook. To be like,
Right.
okay, let's see what it's like for this. So, and that's I've also done other creative games like Stardew Valley. I've dabbled a little bit in Terraria. So it's not that I'm, unfamiliar entirely, but I haven't found that, what's the reason why to stick with it. And when that day happens, God help me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing a little bit more. Also, it's 9:57, so I figure once we finish this one, we can call it good.
Yeah. Yeah, get to sleep early. What are we missing?
I can decide if I'm going to dust or if I'm going to go grocery shopping at 10 o'clock at night.
I mean, no one's going to be there.
That's the advantage. I really love shopping when nobody's there. What are they saying needs to be done? One of the door handles, 2 of the door hinges, and 2 of the headlights. Now, I'm looking at the headlights, and I'm going to call bullshit.
I've got 1 hinge and 2 headlights. Ooh. And the wing mirrors.
Okay, I'm going to figure out this headlight thing. There we go, found it.
How many gosh darn wing mirrors does one guy need?
Okay, that wing mirror. Okay.
There better not be a single blind spot on this darn car.
Actually, speaking of Stardew, Henry and I played that a bit, and my friend Katie wants me to speed run it with her.
Ooh.
And I'm like, my knowledge of Stardew extends to whatever Henry tells me is in the game. So
I
yeah,
have the physical guidebook because I love that game so much. I 100%ed it, which was a long effort.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. There's so much content in that game.
I know.
So.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for listening to me bullshit for an hour about my life.
No worries. It's been a long while.
Yes. And we can pick this up next week and power wash more things.
Power wash all of the things.
And more bullshitting. That's what this game is so good for, just decompressing. And yes. So, well, all right. Well, Atronet, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It was super cool to talk to you. And yes, get your ass down here so we can play some Donkey Konga.
Hell yeah.
Hit me up on Facebook and we can figure out a time for you to visit. So, with all of that, for anybody else watching, thanks a lot for lurking, watching, whatever you're doing. Take care of yourself. Watch for deer. Stay hydrated. And that's all I got. Any parting words, Aaron?
Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm.
All right, cool. Until next time, folks, you take care.